What's going on, good people? Today we're back on our 1971 Chevy Vega. We call him Henry.
Does that say Henry? Henry.
Last you saw this, we came out here and got this thing running, but now we need to see if we can get it back on the road after 23 years. Should be cake. I think I'm going to pop the wheels and tires off because I'm not going anywhere with these tires. Spider webs!
Went ahead and took these wheels to the tire shop and got the tires busted off, but they're a little rough. But I don't know how much I want to put into them because getting 13-inch tires is proving to be an impossible feat. So I think we'll just make these look a little better on the cheap because I don't know that they'll be on long term. All I want to do here is just knock the rust down. Nothing fancy. Ain't nothing wrong with them. They're just a little scaly. We're all a little scaly every once in a while. No reason to throw us in the trash. I'm probably putting way more effort into this than it's worth, huh? I don't know how much factory 13-inch steel wheels are going for nowadays, but I can't imagine it's a whole lot. Well, this is what we got scuffed up, but check that out. GM. I also noticed that somewhere on here it had stamping or whatever, said 13 by 5. I know I saw it on one of these, but anyway, let's dress these up a little. Got this silver wheel paint. Got this one done. It looks, much betterous. Answer your question, no, I'm not putting any primer or anything on them because this is more or less a temporary deal here. I'm not sure these will be the wheels that we keep on the car just because tires are impossible to get. But believe it or not, I was able to find some actual P85 80 13 car tires. Everything else I found was a trailer tire, but these jokers are made by Maxxis, and they got the white stripe too. Only ones I could find anywhere on the planet. Got me a SOS pad here. Gonna see about making these white before we take them to the tire shop. Easier to do laying on the truck. Hey, much better. Now I think we'll take these two to the tire shop, get this taken care of with the wheels, and then go to the car and swap them out for the other two old ones. The area I have to work in here is, I'll be honest, a little challenging, but I think we can get it done here. I'll just get this. Oh, good. Creatures. Lots of them. Well, I don't have time to be messing around with drum brakes today. New and improved situation. All right, let's go get the other side. Phew, these are some tight quarters. It's like trying to do gymnastics in a coffin. Oh, push it. Get out of there. No. Goody. For sure there's going to be something in here that wants to kill me. Look it. Just set you over there. I look in there with all those spider webs and all I see is death. Well, get on there. Well, that don't sound great, does it? We'll figure that out later. Well, I guess we're gonna see what we can do about this now. Like, it worked great. It worked okay, but you know, it's leaky and filthy and whatever. So I got this carburetor kit here. These folks are extraordinarily clear about what you cannot do if you break this shrink wrap. See there? I guess new shrink wrap was expensive. So somehow or another, I got to make sure that this is the right kit. And the only way I figure we can do that is compare the gasket. So I want to be careful about this. If it's the wrong kit and we mess up this gasket, well, then we got nothing at all, huh? Yep, I'm just using the hubcap to put the stuff in. Skip to my loo, skip to my loo, skip to my loo, my darling. This screw looks bent. It's got a wonky twist to it coming out of there. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Yeah, 2 little holes there. Yep. Okay, I think we're good, at least from a gasket standpoint. You can see where it's leaking around this corner here. But like I say, you know, it's not bad looking in there. There's a little bit of gunk, but I think we just clean this up and I'll put this new gasket on and maybe change the accelerator pump and then put it back together and clean it up and then save all this stuff for when we actually need it. I mean, that sounds like a plan to me because, you know, it wasn't, it was working fine, I think. So I got rebuilding this carburetor, and there was a couple of things that hit me weird about it. The first was there was supposed to be a rod here for the fast idle cam, and it was missing. That's not that big of a deal, but when I pulled the bowl off and I really started looking in here, there's pieces of the power valve that are completely gone. Like, not in here and broken, laying anywhere, just gone. Well, you can't buy just the power valve for that thing, and finding parts, you know, the internals is whatever. So I got lucky, and on eBay I found this rebuilt, remanufactured carb that was specifically for this in the Monza or whatever. The bonus here with this one is that, you know, it's all there. So we're gonna put this on and see what we get out of it. Got my hood opener here. There we go. Yeah, it's just as I remember it. Yeah, I think before we do much of anything, we need to get this crap out of here. It's been a little bit since we've been out here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this battery charging too. Dead battery ain't doing us no good. Okie dokie, Smokey. See, it's good that I left the hardware here because I lose stuff. And I see this gasket actually don't look that bad, but my eBay special came with a new one, so we'll use that. Let me just wipe that off, you know, for good measure. the joker. Let's see, I think this goes on here and here, if I remember right. And then our choke rod. Just want to make sure all this is going to line up, you know. Oh no, my little clip. Don't lose the clip. I see so much evidence of spiderage, okay, in here. And I don't, you know, if you've watched my channel for any period of time, you know that I don't do spiders, okay? You all understand? I just don't. Can't do it. They creep me out. Mostly because of, you know, how many legs they got. Which means, you know, they can move really fast. So there's that. All right, let me get this on and come back to you. Well, of course, you know, it wants to fight me. This throttle cable bracket, I don't know if you can see, but it, you know, there's a bolt that goes in there, but the bracket won't come down far enough where it, you know, will line up right with that hole. See if we can persuade it. I guess maybe consider yourself persuaded. Look, my my AutoZone brand, what is this? Yeah, Duralast. Okay, ratcheting wrench here just basically exploded, and all I was doing was tightening up this. I mean, look at this. I have never ever had that happen before. Finally got this sorted. So this is our throttle cable here, and I had it kind of tucked up under here so it was binding, but I got that figured out. And then this is our idle stop sensor, and you know, the choke or whatever is open, but it's not hitting that at all, so I'm sure there'll be some kind of adjustment here. But we need a return spring. The you know, the one that was on it was broken, so let me go get a spring. I just got this package here, various springs. It's like Spring-a-Palooza. But I'm pretty sure we can find something in here that'll work. Now that we got our brand spanky new carburetor hooked up, it's time to feed it some fire water and see if it'll behave a little better this time than it did last time, huh? Hook up the fire water hose to the new monojet. New to me monojet. New to me, you know what I'm saying. Not new, new to me, new to us, new to Henry. And because the way this gas tank is situated, we're also going to do the classic pin the fuel hose to the, you know, screwdriver trick. Oh man, left my cutters over there. I just want this to sit and run smooth and long enough where we can, you know, check some other things, like are we flowing water, and is it charging, and all that fun stuff. This must be the old cable, huh? Is this the old cable that I replaced on? You pull that out of there so I don't get confused. No, none of this is questionable. It's all perfectly, you know, normal stuff here. I just want to make sure this don't you know, fall down into the fan by accident. So many things to hook up. Does that get us what we need? Yep. All right, let's get our pump running. Time for some fuel. Okay. Oh, we're leaking. Figures. I'll figure out where we're leaking from. Might be that new fitting I had to put in. So I had two different fittings. One was for a fuel line, inverted flare, and the other one was transcooler, believe it or not. And I used the fuel inverted flare, which is what I thought it should be, is leaking. Okay, try it again. Nope, still leaking. Ugh. Okay, I fixed the leak, basically because I'm a genius. This, I don't know if it was this or this fitting, I'm not sure which. But either way, I brought a whole different filter assembly, and that seems to solve the problem. So, back to where we were. So far, so good. Get it to idle here for a second. That's kind of low. Let it sit here and get warm. Not too warm, mind you. I'm gonna check my gauges. Oh. Says we got oil pressure. It is getting kind of hot. It's up to 190 already. But the thermostat's opening. Oh, it's out of water. Boy, it sucked that water down really quick, and I don't know where it went. Oh, we got to fix that too. Huh. No idea where that water got to. And I did notice on that gauge in there, it was getting pretty hot. So maybe somebody was working on it, filled it, but didn't get a chance to run it through. And it's just low. I don't know. Well, we're gonna fill this up and fire it back up again. You see, my biggest concern with this car is overheating. For obvious reasons. And if they're not obvious to you, look up the Vega. It'll get obvious real quick. Okay, fire it back up. Check my gauge again. Now it's only reading like 130. Got a belt problem.
cool though. It's been running here for like 15, almost 20 minutes. It's just sitting there, happy as can be. Still staying cool, oil pressure's good. I finally got that water topped off. Now let's see if we can start it with the key, huh? No. So that's the next thing to figure out.
On Chevrolets, your purple wire is almost always your start wire. And I see that it's going to this switch on the clutch here. Right here. So we're going to start with that. That's, you know, I feel like that could be a good culprit. And if I'm getting 12 volts to it and not out of it, you know, then we know what's up. All right, I got that out. I put me a little jumper in there. This is the actual, I guess it's like a neutral safety switch for manual cars. But with that jumper in there, I can turn the key well, it's not doing it at the moment, but you get the idea. It's activating the starter. Now I got this cover off of this thing, and basically you can see there's this little rod here, and then there's this contactor that just slides back and forth, but it's all grungy and everything. So I'm gonna clean this up, put it back together, and I'm thinking it'll work. Okay, I got it cleaned up and put back on there. Let's see if this fixes it. Yes. So now we'll be able to start it with the key, but apparently I have some sort of battery issue. Well, it would seem as though my battery's dead. So I don't know if this alternator's charging or not, but I'll just go ahead and put it on the charge because I got to go get something to eat soon anyway, so my body doesn't go into junk food deprivation shock. And while I'm out, we'll get a new alternator belt because this one is screaming like a banshee, and I could see why. Come on. Get yourself off of there. We go. It's just a, you know, a little dry rotted. A little dry rot never hurt anybody, I guess. We'll be back. Well, now that I've put down $13 worth of gut rot, I got this belt at the O'Reilly's. The guy behind the counter was just as surprised as I was that they had it. Okay. So I'm hoping we can get it fired up again here and check and see if this alternator's charging. That would be nice. Okay, let's see. It says my battery's at 58%. You reckon that's enough to turn it over? It was only at 30-something% when I left here. Oh, it's not enough. Dang it. Oh, now that's awesome. Let's see if we can't fix this up here. Okay. Yeah, we'll lube it right through the spider webs. Still got some work to do. Yeah, it's better. It's good for now. Hello again. It's like a week later. I can only work on this thing, you know, on the weekends because of its distance from me. And, you know, I got one of those pesky full-time job things. So I have to do this in segments and such. Anyway, I think I got my battery charged up. Now, where did we leave off? Put a new alternator belt on, but then the battery was dead. So I think what we're going to do is get it fired up and check and see if the alternator is charging. We can check the voltage regulator. I know that that voltage regulator is somehow tied into this Romex wire, so that could be why it's not charging. Anyway, we'll see if we can figure that out. And then we know we've got a some kind of clutch problem that we're going to have to get into, but I guess, we want to make sure that this is running, because, if it's not running, we're not, I guess, going very far. The other thing we have to get into is the fuel pump. Now, these things have a electric fuel pump that's in the tank, and I don't think it works, but we can test that and see. I don't know what fuel's in the tank or whatever, but we'll have to get into that too at some point. Let's see about this alternator for right now. Don't ask me how tools get lost. I don't know. I may have to see about getting more gas soon. More fire water. All right, let's see if this thing will start with the key, eh? We fixed that, remember? For some reason I charged this thing, man. So I don't know why it's acting like it's dead. But I guess we'll check it here again and see what's what. Because it sure is acting like it's dead. It says 12.2. That should be enough to spin it over. Don't tell me my new starter is gone bad already. Let's see if I can figure out what it's doing. Okay, it's most definitely in neutral. I don't know, I guess we'll try cleaning up this ground contact. See if that helps. I don't know what could be the problem now. I mean, I really don't think this is it, if I'm being honest. But I suppose it could be. We will clean it up and see. Well, these little cover boot things over these alligator clips are kind of a pain in the butt. Now what? All right, that didn't do it. I don't know what that was for. It just made me feel better, I guess. I'm going to see if the engine turns over. I don't remember what size that crank bolt was. No. I think it's like 3/4 or something. Yeah. Let me just see if I can get this wrench on it. Oh, crap. Oh, no. Well, for reasons unexplained, the motor is seized up. Why would that be? Oh my God, it's locked up tighter than a drum. Huh. Oh, maybe it's not the motor. Maybe it's the clutch. We did have clutch issues. This motor was running fine. There's no reason for the motor to be locked up. The oil's good, but we did have clutch issues that could be seized up. So the only way to figure that out is disconnect it and then see if the motor turns over. If the motor turns over after we do that, then we're in good shape. Okay, let's do that, I guess. So before I jack the car up, we're gonna tackle some of this topside stuff. I've got a, I don't have a center bell housing bolt, but there's one here, and then there's one down here, and then I dropped you. Ooh, sorry about that. Let me wipe you off there. That was rude, huh? Anyway, right here, this is our clutch cable. And right here, there's like a cover, and there's two 7/16 bolts on. I got my socket on one. So from the top side, I think we're going to get those two and these two bell housing bolts, at least one out, and loosen the other before we jack the car up here. Okay, I got those two bell housing bolts, and I got the top bolt out of that cover plate for the clutch cable. Can't really get the bottom one, but I think I can get it from the underside. So let's get the car jacked up. Ow! Trying to figure out the safest place to do this. I mean, I don't really know where that would be. I guess this cross member here. That seems safe. I don't know, is that okay? I mean, it seems pretty good. I got gardeners next door, sorry. And I found something really interesting under here that I have to share with y'all because you're not going to believe it. There has clearly been a massacre under here. Okay, that is a dead bird that something has eaten half of, and there's another one over there. And so I don't know what the Sam hell's been going on around here, but I got no interest, okay, in playing the lead role in a Hitchcock movie. I'm gonna grab Rob's rake here and see if I can get this figured out. Sorry about the gardeners, but I guess, you know, Saturdays is a good time for work. Oh yeah, that's not disgusting at all. Oh, maybe that's just the other half of the bird. Oh yeah, maybe it's just one bird. Either way, it's, you know, bad. It's a little warm for this, but you know, I'm not crawling under there with all the arachnids and the dead animals and everything else without some kind of protection. Don't these people know that I'm trying to work? How dare they try to work while I'm trying to work? Okay, that's a little better. First thing we got to do is get this drive shaft off. You know, the spider webs. And see, I know that this is recent. Okay, there's feathers in it, and it's attached to this tire that I just put on last week. So there's creatures living in here, and I don't like it. Gives me the heebie-jeebies. We got to get this drive shaft off, so I got to get these bolts here, and I'm hoping they're either a 7/16 or 3/8, because that's what I brought. Look at the blood under here from the bird. What the hell happened? It's like a massacre. Okay, it wasn't the easiest thing in the world, but I did get it. Let's see if we can pry it off of here now. There we go. Just rest right there. Yeah, I don't know if anything's going to come out of here or not, but just in case. Okay, that's good. I want to make sure we don't lose our caps down there. Let me get my wrench out of the crime scene. It appears as though the murder took place here and the body was drugged to that location. I learned that from forensic files. Okay, I said the first thing was the drive shaft, but we got to get the shifter off too. So I guess I'll go ahead and do that. All right, I don't know what we got here. Oh, Phillips. Okay. Let's see, do I have one of those? Whoop. Yeah. So we gotta get these out. I'm having to get a couple of these out with the pliers because the screwdriver ain't turning them, and I don't want to, you know, mess the points up. Look, I can't even get the vice grips to turn it. Let me clamp down on it. I got it. I turned it a little. There we go. It's sure to break, and then I guess I'll be drilling. It's turning. Holy smokes, man. Yeah, got it without breaking it. Miracle. Okay, now we just gotta well, what is holding? Oh my gosh, there's another one. I guess 4 wasn't enough. I had to get the pliers after that one too, but anyway, I think we're finally at some kind of, what do we have going on here? I don't know. We can get it over the thing here. Okay. Now let's see, we got a spring. Let's see, how do we think this comes off? Does it just pop out after you release the spring? Let's release the spring. Oh. See if we can get the spring off of there. Okay. Got the spring off. Now what? I got it. It was a pin. It was a pin slides through there with one of them little E-clip things on it. Just pop the clip, slide the pin out, and voila. All right, so I want to get my spring so I don't lose that. I'm going to lose all of this stuff. But anyway, I think we're good now. We can go back to the underside. All right, I'm going to unbolt the transmission from the cross member here, because if I can get the cross member out of the way, it's just a little one. There's like springs, and there's a speedo cable, and there's a bunch of other stuff I need to get to. So let's see if I can get these jokers first. I have to lay y'all in the bird feathers here for a minute. I'm thinking, or I'm hoping, they're 9/16. Feels like it. Okay. All right, and I get the jack under here. There's just this goo caked on here where I can't get a wrench or socket on anything, so I'm having to chisel this out. But don't worry, we'll get it. I got the other side, I'll get this one. I always win. I wish that were true, but it's true in this case. I got, let's see. I got my, had to wrap the pliers around that just because I could get a grip on it and undo the dang thing. But anyway, it's off. lock washer and my bolt. Put this together so I can lose it too. Over there with the rest of it. Now let's see if we can get this. Holy cow. There we go. Oh. Oh, that's awesome. What in the hell? When was the last time anybody was ever in here? What is this? This is just a riot. I'm checking for, you know, living things. What is that? It looks like some kind of seal or something. That's the dang transmission mount. Well, look at the transmission mount. It's just like crumbling apart here. I better not mess with it too much, because I'm not even sure I can get one of those. Anyway, let's see if we can get our speedo cable is right here. We'll see if we can get that. I got the speedo cable, and I'm gonna try to get, oh, that's gotta go. Okay. I think we gotta go over to the other side and disconnect the spring and the clutch cable. And then, you know, we undo a couple of more bolts here, and out she comes, I guess. Well, the spring was easy. It just disconnected from right here. I just have to remember, you know, where it goes when we go to put this back together. But anyway, now I just got to get these bolts here on the clutch cable cover and figure out how we get that apart. Okay, that just, once I got them bolts out, it just kind of fell off in my hands there, so I guess that's not that big of a deal. Now what do we got up here? I just got to figure out how to get that clutch cable off. Looks like maybe it just pulls off of there. There's going to be some kind of release or something here. I have to figure that out. I don't know. But I can see how it pulls the clutch fork right here. It's just pinned in there. All right, let me figure that out. Okay, I figured it out. I basically, you know, disconnected the whole dang clutch cable in order to get it sorted out. But this thing was on the clutch fork, and you have to unthread it from here. But there was so much pressure on the clutch fork that I couldn't get it. So anyway, we'll figure this out later, and I don't know, maybe I can get a new one, or we need to fix this up or something, but we'll worry with the transmission right now. Okay, I'm pretty sure I just got two bolts here on the bell housing, one here and one, you know, on the other side, and I'm pretty sure then we can drop this. Maybe I reposition the jack a little, get it under here. I can't imagine it's super heavy, but still. Yeah, let's do that first. Seems as if I completely neglected the cover here. Didn't think about that. I guess these aren't 1/2 inch. Great. But you know, in my defense, this is pretty well camouflaged with all the gunk, you know. Got two more, I think, and then I think that's everything. We'll try pulling it out. Okay. Come off now. Yay. All right. Now what? Let's see if by some miracle it just separates these. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see about yanking this thing out of here. Maybe if we let it down a little. Something still got me. It's hanging on for dear life over here. There we go. Okay, it's pretty much out. There we go. Oh crap. It's just hanging there by a thread. That's not cool. Hurry. Get back up there. Okay, now out you come. I'm not sure I understand completely what's happening. What is going on here? I don't want it to just fall, bust the bell housing. It's hanging on back here or something. Pretty sure it's the dang firewall. I did not see any kind of... Oh, there's some plugs over here. What the hell's that for? I don't know, but they're off now. Okay. Okay. Ow. Boy, getting that back up there is going to be a hoot. We'll worry about that when it's, whoa, it's rolling away. But at least now we can see what we got here. I'm going to get this clutch off. Well, there's our throwout bearing, and it is pretty much shot. It sounds pretty rough. But I don't know that it should have locked anything up. I'm really nervous right now, to be honest with you, because I'm going to pull this clutch off and then try to spin the motor over, and if it don't spin over, then we got a big problem. But let's start with this, I suppose. Oh, it's turning. Okay, that does make me feel better. But now somehow I have to keep this from turning so I can get my clutch off. I don't have a pry bar. Maybe a big ass screwdriver. When all else fails, get you a big ass screwdriver. I could see the burn marks on the clutch forks. Really need a gun for this. Are they 9/16 or half or what? Man, that makes me feel a lot better with this, with the engine turning now. So I guess this was, something was just froze up in here, huh? I mean, hell, it could be that, well, it's not the transmission. I don't know. What has happened? Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Probably could have rode with that for a little while longer. Well, there's a lot of heat marks in here. See, I don't know that this engine is going to be in here long term. I don't know how much life this engine has, but once it's gone, it's gone. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't rebuild this. I'd put something different in it. So, you know, I really should like turn the flywheel and all that, but because I ordered a clutch kit, which we're getting ready to go get, because I didn't know what part of this. I just knew something about the clutch was hosed. I didn't know what part. So I ordered a kit, And like I said, you really should turn the flywheel, but I just don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm just gonna clean it up, put the new clutch and bearing in it, and get the car driving. That flywheel will last as long as that motor does, I'm sure. And worst case, you know, we burn a clutch out or something, and then I have to take it apart and do it if the motor's still going. But that way I don't have to fool with any of this. I think the kit comes with a new pilot bearing, so we could swap that out, put the new clutch in, new throw out bearing, and put it back together and drive the dang thing. Sounds like a plan. All right, well, let's go get some parts and some lunch, and then we'll come back to this, I guess. Oh, I need to see about a transmission mount too. Nobody's going to have that. And a clutch cable. Always something. Well, I am covered in every organic thing you can think of. Go get a burger. Now, here's our clutch kit I got from O'Reilly's. I think the first thing I want to do is verify that it's correct. It's going to fit and work and all that stuff. Because it would suck to get going with this and find out that it's wrong. Let's make sure this is going to fit on our doohickey here. Yeah, see? That's totally wrong. Totally wrong. Well, glad I didn't get too far with it then. Oh, crap. Why on earth do I buy cars that you can't get parts for? Somebody help me understand. All right, well, we know we got to have a clutch. So I think what I'm going to do is take the transmission and the clutch and everything with me, get cleaned up here, because I want to clean that transmission up and maybe put no oil in it and all that stuff before we put it back. It doesn't make sense to put it back like that. It's getting late in the day. So I'll pack all this up. I'll take the transmission and everything with us where we can get it cleaned up and everything. We'll get the right clutch kit, and then we'll come back and put it all on. Yeah, that sounds like a winner. I'll catch up with y'all in a bit. Well, I got everything loaded up in the truck. I saved you all of that, okay? Because it's just a whole lot of me breathing like an asthmatic horse. But I got the transmission and everything, so we need to get the right clutch kit, and then while I'm sorting that out, we're going to see if we can't get the transmission cleaned up. I think the front seal is leaking. There's a lot of oil in there, so we'll get that cleaned up, service the transmission while it's out. I mean, why not, right? And you know, wait on the right clutch kit. Yeah, I can talk. And when we get the right clutch kit, we'll come back and put it all together, and then we'll go vroom vroom, right? All right, we got to get all this cleaned up because I can't even tell. Look at this, what I'm working with here. It's unidentifiable. I got all this from just this cross member and this other little piece here. I got these pieces all done. Looks like our cross member took a wallop at some point. And then check this out. Adjust for clutch wear at ball stud on opposite side of clutch housing. Well, now we know how to adjust it. Well, I guess now we'll see about tackling this. Get the hair off of it. I'll just put it in my 10-pound bag of other crap today. It's like an archaeological dig. Can he find the lost transmission of Tanzania? Well, I'd like to cover some ID markings at some point so we can figure out what this is, because I'm not good enough to know by looking at it. Once I get all the gunk off of this thing, I'm going to take it to the car wash. Alright, let me work on this and I'll come back to you. Look, y'all, there's a transmission under there. I know, I'm just as surprised as you are. And I found these numbers here, and apparently this is an Opel transmission. Opel transmission made for Vegas. But it's definitely a 71 model. And I don't know anything about these Opel transmissions, but apparently one thing I've learned is that they require their fluid to be on the outside of the case. So I'm going to get this thing broke down a little bit, get this mount off and all this, take it out to a car wash, see if I can get it cleaned up, and then, you know, I'm on the hunt for parts. Well, I just got it back from the car wash. That was you know, $10 well spent. Anyway, I'll get it cleaned up, and we gotta get some parts coming and stuff, and I got some traveling to do. So that's gonna wrap us up for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, got something out of it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell, because we'll be coming back to finish this up real soon. In the meantime, get off the couch and go wrench on something. I gotta see if I can find parts for an Opel transmission.